Hello, this is John McParland, and welcome to Dysfunctional Dialogue. I have with me here my favorite person on this planet, Debbie McParland, my wife. I love you, Debbie.
Love you too.
All right, so
still love you.
Yeah, go figure, right? And it's documented here, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we've had the podcast before. We talked about some different things. There's still, of course, a whole myriad of stories between us. But let's go back. Let's go back to the early days, Debbie. Let's go back to the early days.
So I have a question for you, because I was thinking about you and I had taken a trip at like 5 o'clock in the morning. We drove down the shore, laid out a blanket to watch the sunrise and all that. Were we dating or were we just friends at that time?
Oh,
do you remember?
No, you're asking.
You remember the time I'm talking about, right?
Of course, absolutely. That was a lovely
where we came up with Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, we may have not been officially dating then, because I don't think we
were.
I don't remember making out with you there and doing the things that newly dating people. We were just hanging out, enjoying each other's company.
So
none of which we do anymore.
We were just friends. Okay.
Yeah, not so much anymore, though, right?
No.
It's a long-standing.
Now it's just work.
It's just work. That's excellent.
Yes, right. I love him. Now can I go back to sleep?
So we have a lot of stories between the two of us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell the story about when I asked you out for the first time? You don't remember now. You can't remember.
No.
It was like 7th grade.
Oh. Man, didn't we cover that last time I was on the show?
Nope. I only mentioned it and I said, hey, maybe we'll get to it. But we never got to it.
So, okay. So we're talking late 70s, right? And back then, texting was actually writing notes. So, I mean, I saved just about every note that every girl ever wrote me, even the nasty things. I saved them all. I still have them in my like memory box, if you want to call it that. You wrote me a note towards the end of 7th grade asking me on a date. And I remember writing
to go ice skating with everybody.
I don't remember what it was. You were just asking me out.
It was something like that. Roller skating.
Oh, now I know why I don't have it. Because I wrote back to you like, sorry, I like you as a friend, nothing more than that. And as I was going to give it to you, Mrs. Carlin, our teacher, our 7th grade teacher,
who was a lovely
confiscated
woman.
it. And she's like, let's read what Debbie has to say. That's more important than what I have to say. And I'm sitting there and I'm like all embarrassed. And she reads like no names, but everyone knows it's me. So it's like, will you go to ice skating, as you said, with me? Yeah. And the whole class is roaring with laughter. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. And I'm sitting there. And so she took the note, and that's why I don't have it. She took the note, and I'm just sitting there, and so the commotion is dying down, right? It's dying down, and then she's like, so she's doing her classroom, and then she turns to me and she's like, "Oh, for heaven's sakes, Debbie, your face is all red. Go to the bathroom and splash water on your face." And I'm like, and everyone's like, woohoo! Like, Debbie's an asshole! Yay!
So
and you're like sitting there like, And then like, in hindsight, I kind of wondered, did you do that on purpose? Like make noise so that Mrs. Carlin saw me passing the note, going to pass the note?
I was fond of this woman, this young lady back then.
I don't know. Now that I think about knowing you, now that I know you.
But one of the funnier parts about this is you could hear like she was a bit traumatized by this. I had no recollection of this. I had completely forgotten about this. And then, I don't know, we were dating, we were in our 20s, and you brought that up, Debbie. She brought it up to me. I was like, wait, is that right? Oh, yeah. And then it all started flooding back. And that was an oh yeah with the face blushing too, although you did tell me that some time ago as well. That is anyway. So
did we ever share that with the kids? The whole blushing thing,
sure.
and Mrs. Carlin
We've
confiscated.
gone through everything.
But I mean, for years I was like, why don't I have that note? Because Mrs. Carlin took it.
So what I like to tell here, and I want you to ignore, or I'll just be able to edit it out, everything that she says to counter this because it's not true. Years later, she hunted me down. Go ahead, deny it. It's true. Get the hell out of here. Okay. You know it's true.
I have to say, because I was just talking to Kathy about this yesterday, because she's like, how did you and John meet? And I was telling her. So when we were 20, we were hanging out as friends, and I just liked him. And I knew you liked me. I knew it. Even though James said, no, he just wants to be friends with you. I was like, nah, that's just because I said it to him. So here we are, 20 years old.
Here we are 20 years old, and she pulled like a 7th grade thing and asked a mutual friend if he could go ahead and say something to me about whether I like her or not. And at that point, I was, not ready to admit it again.
Okay.
It was all part of my torturing her. I think
you knew. I remember we were at the movie theater. You, me, James, and Eileen, and we're at the movie theaters. And you like leaned over, and you're like, and you said something to me, and it was like, oh my God, he's gonna kiss me. Oh my God, I think he's gonna kiss me. And you did that on purpose. You totally did that on purpose. Because you're like, okay, let me just tease the shit out of her. Yeah.
Well, how about was that? You turn that sound down now.
Okay, go ahead.
Was that the same time at the movie theater where we were sitting next to each other, obviously, but we were just friends. I'm pretty sure at this point we must have been. Yeah, we were. And I leaned into you or something like that, and you were smoking back then when we were younger. You know.
No, we were dating when you said what you said. Go ahead. We were dating. I remember. We were in your apartment in Hoboken.
We were in a movie theater.
When you said about the smoking thing?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We were in a movie theater.
No. We were dating, and we were in your apartment in Hoboken. Yeah, you gave me this kiss, this really sweet kiss. Oh, it was so nice. It was so nice. And you're like, oh, it brings back memories. And I'm like, really? Yeah. You're like, when I used to work as a janitor, I used to clean up the garbage.
I'll
and that was like that was like the start of me wanting to quit smoking, by the way.
Oh, all right. Let's hear it for the verbal abuse.
Yeah, well, actually, the what put it over the edge for me, my quitting smoking, was when the pack of cigarettes went from $2 to $4. $4. And now it's like the cheapest pack of cigarettes you could buy one cigarette for $4 now.
You gotta take out a loan if you want to get a carton.
I know.
It's terrible.
Yep.
All right, so that's a couple of stories. You me asking you out, you hunting me down like a rabid dog later, which you did. You did. You were looking for me. You were hunting me down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And I relented.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah. So, all right, but let's go back now. We started out in 7th grade. Now we jumped ahead to a little later, early college years, and now I'm going to go back to sometime in the late grade school time. You and we had this one teacher who, we're not going to say names because that's just not right. But we had this one teacher who, frankly, she had a body odor issue. And, and of course, back then for kids, it was, fodder for amusement because, kids are asses. So there was all these jokes. For what it's worth, there was always flies flying around in that classroom. It was so weird. There was a smell. There were flies. So anyway, one day it was me and Debbie and one other young lady in our class, a close friend of ours.
I swear that there were 2. I'm pretty sure that it wasn't just.
No, it was the 3 of us. I remember distinctly.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll give you that kiss in the Hoboken, but I'm not giving you that. This one's locked in for sure. So The three of us there, and we ended up breaking in. We didn't break in. We went into the school. The door was open. It was non-school hours. It was a weekend. We were not supposed to be in there, obviously. And what do we do? Well, as kids will do, we just wandered around and had a grand old time walking around the classrooms when no one else was around. And we ended up going into this one teacher's class. And we were looking around. We opened up the desk, and in the one drawer, there was an old like salami or pepperoni or something like that. It was all moldy. I mean, it might as well had maggots on it. It was terrible and it was stinky. Oh, and this is during the school year. This is how is this person living like that? So whilst there, one of us, not exactly sure who, could have been me, I don't know, grabbed one of the books in the desk. It was a grade book. And all the grades were written in pencil. So, of course, opportunity before us. We're not ones to pass up a good opportunity. So we go ahead and adjust. We didn't get greedy. We didn't give ourselves all straight A's.
No, we just went up one grade.
We went up one grade. Yeah.
We went up one grade each.
So there was another day right around that same time period where me and three other guys, we got it in our head that we're going to just kind of skip out of class. Actually, that same teacher that I was just talking about. And we did, and we're downstairs in the basement where the cafeteria is and the maintenance room, the furnace room, and like this kitchen that they didn't use was in. We were just bouncing around there having a grand old time. And of course, the teacher's going to notice, even this teacher's going to notice, there's 4 students missing from the class. Duh. So the word got out, and the teacher's going to be looking for us now. And she got other teachers to look for us too. And we heard people coming down the stairs. Like, oh no, and we all split and went different directions. I don't know where those guys went, but I went into this one closet and all these desks and chairs just stacked up, just mangled, sort of stacked up in there. And I just meandered my way through. It was all the way in the back. And I remember that teacher you mentioned, Mrs. Carlin, she comes in and I literally see her legs from like the knees down. And I'm like, oh, she's not going to get me. She's not. And she didn't see me. And so she left. The other 3 guys got busted. And I go up the stairs and I go towards the back of the classroom. Now, the teacher is now in that classroom, the one that I skipped. And I'm in the hallway. And there's 2 doors. And I go just kind of peek in the side door a little bit. And then all of a sudden, she just goes out of the classroom, I think, to see what's going on with everybody else. And I snuck in the other door. And I sat down and like to pretend like, no, I've been here the whole time. So stupid. So, and the other kids are like, John, they're going to know you weren't here, John. I'm like, all right, at this point, I'll just take my punishment, I guess. Right. So, we all got suspended. We got suspended.
Oh, that's right.
I had to go home, and it was like one of the rare days. I think my dad came home for lunch. So I was in there, like I went home and I was so happy. I'm like, whatever, I'll just hang out here and I'll deal with that stuff tomorrow, as you do at that age. And I got myself like a snack and plopped myself in front of like, Price is Right or the Flintstones or something. And I was having a grand old time. All of a sudden I heard my dad's car pull up. I'm like, no! I go running down the basement. I spent the next like 45 minutes just still seeing dad walking around, and damn. And the other guys. Wait,
how long was your suspension for?
I think it might have been the day. And then we probably had like another series of detentions or something like that. But the other guys decided, at least 2 of them, it could have been all 3 of them, decided to hitchhike to the Jersey Shore. And I was like, guys, I'm out. I'm not doing that. I mean, we were 8th grade. I was doing some crazy stuff as a young person. I wasn't going to hitchhike. And I wasn't going to hitchhike to the Jersey Shore. And they did it, man. They did it.
They did
guys, I guess. Yeah, they did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Junior year of high school, I wasn't supposed to go down the shore. And I did. Oh, no, actually, I never made it down the shore. It was after junior prom. And my cousin's best friend picked us up. And then we stopped in Jersey City, picked up a couple of guys that we knew from Jersey City, that we knew these guys. We didn't just go like randomly like, hey, what's it? And so the 5 of us were heading down the shore, but she just got her license like 2 weeks earlier, and someone cut her off, and she ended up losing control of the car. And I ended up 2 or 3 weeks in the hospital. Do you remember?
Yeah. I had to visit my future wife.
Yeah.
It's like something drew me there, and now I know what it was. Yeah, she broke her femur.
Broke my femur, and I broke my wrist too.
I know, but
that was really This hurt.
Everyone breaks wrists. A femur is a gigantic deal.
True. However, the femur, because they had it in traction, and then I had the surgery and everything. I had this up in traction, and it was painful until they finally took the cast out. Like, I had the cast going all the way up. It was bad.
Oh, you
this
shattered
was
it pretty
bad.
Good then.
Yeah, it was bad.
All right, enough with the torture stories.
Enough with that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You remember, Debbie? We had talked previously, ever so briefly, on the last podcast about how Brian, my buddy Brian, my old college roommate, and Debbie had worked with him as well post college, and he was our third wheel. When we go out and have a good time, but like the best possible third wheel you could possibly ever want.
I have to correct you with that third wheel thing. Yeah, even though you and I were dating at that point, when the three of us went out, we were not boyfriend and girlfriend.
We weren't. It was just buds.
We were just friends, and then you guys would just torture and torment me.
No, it's just
and that was
fun. You're exaggerating. It was fun, but maybe bordering a little bit on a torturous side was this story.
Maybe okay.
Oh, do you know what I'm going to say?
What? And I had to go to the bathroom, and you guys wouldn't let me out of the car.
You remember what we talked about before? So, yes. So I think you were in the back seat.
I was in the back seat with Brian. We were in your Toyota Corolla, and I was in the back seat.
No, we were in Brian's car. Brian was driving.
Brian was driving? Oh, okay. Yeah. And I was in the back seat, and I'm like, and we got to the bar, and I was like, quick, let me out. I have to go to the bathroom. You know, and nowadays, you can't mess with that kind of situation. You just can't do that. But back then, I probably had a better bladder than I do now.
Yeah, but you're missing the most key point. We were saying things along the way.
No, I wasn't there yet.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get there yet. Yeah. So I'm like, guys, let me out. I got to go to the bathroom. And Brian slowly parks in the parking spot. And then you guys are like, oh, so how you doing? Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Yeah. And I'm like, please open the fucking door. I got to go. And now, because I had urgency in my voice, you guys moved so slow. Like, knock, knocking on the
So that actually happened earlier. So you mixed it up a little bit, but absolutely, that's all that she said happened exactly the way she said it, except for we were driving on the road still, and Brian was aiming for bumps. And first we were talking about
oh man,
first we were talking about mountain streams, and we mentioned flushing, just water noises. And then all of a sudden, Guns N' Roses knocked on the heaven's door and came on, and Brian Howard singing knock, knocking on the bathroom door, and poor Debbie was just tortured by it.
Oh my
God.
God.
Then we stopped there, and we were very slow.
So you use the word torture. You hear that, right?
No, I understand that. I understand that was borderline torture.
Borderline.
That's something not to be messed with.
No.
You know, I was wondering, Debbie, and I know you told some stories, and I have one, but it's really your story about. So Debbie's parents are from Sicily, so there were some language barriers, not significant. They learned English really good, particularly your dad, but your mom too. They both learned English really good, but there were little things that just were never going to be learned, and that was the one I was thinking was how when your aunts came visiting. One aunt from Italy, it was right before we got married, and your other aunt, and they're sitting in the kitchen, and they're talking about how to say my name, McParland.
Oh, yeah. So, certain letters of the English alphabet are just not part of the vernacular.
Yeah, and MC is a letter in and of itself, right?
But it wasn't just that; it was the R in Parliament.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, it was a day or two. It was about 2 days before we got married. And then my cousin and I are talking, and I'm like, yeah, my mom's never going to be able to say my name. And she's like, what? And I said, because she can't pronounce it. And she's like, And then she turns to my mom and she's like, Tia, say McParland. And she's like, no, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say. And they're cracking up. Their faces are all beet red because they're drinking. Their arms are like, I'm so itchy. And then we're like, say it. And it wasn't just my mom. It was my aunt too. Like, say McParland. And so their inability to pronounce the name on top of the fact that they're drunk, and they're not drunk. I mean, they had like, honestly, we gave them like a glass of wine, little bits, like drinkers. A shot of Pete. What?
Yeah, they weren't drinkers. So what were some of the things that were different? You went to Sicily. You know, what were some of the things that were a little different when you went there? I remember, I love the story of, and look, a lot of you probably already know this, but maybe some of you don't, about how there was the fruit and vegetable guy. I just love that.
Oh, yeah. No, so he would say things like, he'd scream up in order to let people know that he's there. And he'd be like, you know, whatever. And one day I turned to my grandmother and I was like, you know, what is he saying? And she's like, I don't know. He's yelling. And so I asked my aunt the same thing, like, what's this guy saying? And she's like, I don't know. So you're standing on your balcony and you look down and you're like, you see what he has in his little cart. You're like, I want this, and this. And he's like, okay. And he screams up how much it's going to be. And you take out your money and you lower your basket on a string. You lower the basket with the money in it. He takes the money out, puts the fruit and vegetables in that you asked for, and then you haul it up, and there you go. And then every morning, the goat guy would come by.
The goat guy.
And if you wanted some goat milk, my grandmother would take a little bowl, because it was just her and my grandfather. So she'd have this little bowl, and she'd put the money in the bowl, and she'd leave it on her doorstep. And so when he's walking by, the goat guy, he's walking with his herd of goats, and he sees if you have like, oh, okay, look, there's a bowl. He walks over, he gets the money and puts it in his pocket. He takes the bowl and he milks the goat, and then he puts the milk. I mean, so the milk is hot. It's, well, not hot, but it's warm. It's warm milk. And then she would take it and she'd use it for their coffee or bowl of cereal, whatever it was she served for my grandfather. Yeah.
So when he was coming down the street, that reminded me of, like, he's like the guy at the ball game. He's like, hey, dog, get your doggy, hey.
No.
Hey,
it's the goats, milk. Goat's milk.
Hey, go.
There's something nice about that, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So I had a goat guy walking down the street and delivering milk.
Fresh milk. Your squirts. Hey, get your squirts here. Hey.
You gave me this kiss, this really sweet kiss. Oh, it was so nice. It was so nice. And you're like, oh, it brings back memories. And I'm like, really? Yeah. You're like, when I used to work as a janitor, and I used to clean up the garbage. And I was like, and that was like the start of me wanting to quit smoking, by the way.
Oh, all right. Let's hear it for the verbal abuse.